Okay, today we left off with number 8 to do for homework. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and break down 3 times the square root of 24. The perfect square that makes up 24 would be 4. So I'm going to bring down the 3, and then I'm going to multiply times 4, and then 6 stays there. Minus the perfect square for 96 would be the square root of 96. A perfect square of 96, I'm sorry, would be 16. Square root of 6 plus, I'm going to bring the 2 down, square root of 150. A perfect square for 150 would be 25 times square root of 6. Now I'm going to combine 3 times 4 to get 12. I'm going to bring down my square root of 6 minus 16 square root of 6 plus 2 times 25, 50 square root of 6. Now I can combine all of my terms because they are alike. 12 minus 16 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 50 is going to be 46 times the square root of 6. I would like for you to do the error analysis yourself, but before you do this error analysis, I want to tell you that when we're multiplying radicals, you multiply 2 times the square root of 14 and then 2 times the square root of 6. Okay, I'm going to walk you through numbers 10 and 11, and then I'm going to let you do number 12 by yourself. Number 10. When we are simplifying each radical expression, you see that you have to multiply for number 10 by using the distributive property. What you have to remember is to multiply the whole numbers first, and then the radicals. Okay. All right. So number 10, the square root of 5 times the square root of 7 is going to be the square root of 35 plus the square root. Well, there's an imaginary 1 here, so 1 times 2 is 2, and then the square root of 5 times the square root of 6 is the square root of 30. Now from here, you simplify from here and think, is there a perfect square that we can pull out for the square root of 35? There's not. Is there one for the square root of 30? There is not. So this is your final answer. Number 11, you're going to multiply the whole numbers first. 10 square root of 8 times 3 square root of 6 is going to give you 10 times 3 is 30. The square root of 8 times the square root of 6 is the square root of 48. Minus 10 times 4 is 40. Square root of 8 times 10 is the square root of 80. Now what you're going to do is you need to simplify these two radicals and see if we can combine them any further. So I'm going to bring the 30 out and think to myself, is there a perfect square that I can pull out of 48? And there is, and the largest one is 16. Square root of 3 minus, I bring the 40 down. Is there a perfect square to pull out for 80? which is going to be 16. And that's as far as you can go. Number 12 asks you to find the perimeter and the area. To find the perimeter, we know we need to add all the sides. So we're going to add 2 times the square root of 6 plus 2 times the square root of 6 plus 8 times the square root of 10 plus 3 plus 8 times the square root of 10 plus 3. All right, because these two have the same radical or same number under the radical sign, you will get 4 square root of 6 plus 8 plus 8 is 16 times the square root of 10 plus 3 to get 6. Now you have to think to yourself, can I simplify these any further? And you cannot. The area. To find the area, we know we need to multiply. So we're going to multiply 2 times the square root of 6 times 2 times the square root of 6 times, what am I doing? I'm so sorry. Yeah, hold on. I don't know what I was just doing. Okay, 2 times the square root of 6 times 8 times the square root of 10 plus 3. Now, when you multiply, remember you have to multiply the whole numbers first and then multiply the radicals. So 2 times 8 is 16. Square root of 6 times the square root of 10 is the square root of 60. Plus, and what I'm doing is I'm just distributing. 2 times 3 is 6. The square root of 6 carries over. Now I need to simplify even further. 16 times a perfect square that we can pull out from 60 would be 4. And the square root of 15 stays. Plus 6 times the square root of 6. Then I combine what I have left to get 64 times the square root of 15 plus 6 times the square root of 6. Okay, so when you are working these out here, I'm going to go ahead and let you do these by yourself. I want you to remember that what we're doing is you're multiplying 1/2 times 2, 2/3 times 2, and 1/3 times 2. All right, so the first one, I always tell you can do it by yourself, and then I do it with you. All right, so the first one is going to be A. 1/2 times 2 is 1 times A. 2/3 times 2 is 4/3 4/3. Sorry. And then A, 1/3 times 2 is 2/3. Okay? You can't read that because my handwriting's messy. It is A to the power of 1 times A to the power of 4/3 over A to the power of 2/3. And we're just going to leave it like that. What I would like for you to do is take a moment by yourself and do 5, 6, and 7. When press pause, and then when you press play again, you'll have the answers. Number 5, you should have gotten 81 raised to the power of 1/4 times x to a power of 12/4, which is 3. Now from here, this is tricky. You're going to go ahead, and what I would do is rewrite this exponent as a radical, which would be the 4th root of 81 times x to the power of 3. The 4th root of 81 is 3. Bring down your x to the power of 3. Number 6, I would accept 2 answers. X to a power of 3/2 over x to a power of 1/2. Now, really want to push you to rewrite these as radicals, even though the directions didn't tell you to. So if I asked you to do that, you would get the square root of x to a power of 3 over the square root of x to a power of 1. Okay, number 7, you should have gotten 49 to a power of 1/2 times n to a power of 5 over 144 to a power of 1/2 times n to a power of 4. Now, I need to move this over so I have some room. Now, we can simplify this even further. 49 raised to a power of 1/2 would give you the square root of 49 times n to a power of 5 over the square root of 144 times m to a power of 4. You simplify that even further to get the square root of 49 is 7 times n to the 5th power. The square root of 144 is 12 times m to a power of 4. And that's as far as we can go with that one. Okay, number 8. Which expression is equivalent to the cube root of x raised to a power of 8? So x is my base, 3 is my denominator, and 8 is the numerator. So the answer would be the second one. What I would like for you to do is read these. Number 9, write the expression in radical form below its corresponding expression with a rational exponent. Okay, I really want you to do this entire page by yourself. I would go ahead and press pause and see if you can get the right answers. I'm going to go ahead and write the correct answers so that you can check your work. Okay, so for number 9, you should have gotten the 4th root of y to a power of 5. The second one, you should have gotten the square root of 3 to a power of 3. And then the third one, you should have gotten the cube root of x raised to a power of 4. Number 10, you should have gotten x to a power of 1/5, y to a power of 2/5, which would give you the fifth root of x times the fifth root of y to a power of 2. Number 11, you should have gotten the fifth root of x to a power of 4. Number 12, you should have gotten 729. Number 13, you should have gotten 64 over 1,000, which simplifies to 8 over 125. What I would like for you to do is to go ahead and work through number 14, 15, 16, 14 through 17 by yourself, and we will check those answers as a warm-up in class tomorrow. Good job, guys.